In this media, you will learn about the troubleshooting methods in power supply unit equipment. Check the incoming voltage. Check the input voltage initially. An unplugged power cord, blown fuse, or a flat battery could be the cause for malfunction of PSU. Check for the corroded lugs. Clean the battery terminals and lugs. Visual inspection. Visual inspection needs proper knowledge of the operating circuit, connectors, terminals, and the cable. This is the most important part of any diagnostic procedure. The frequently occurring faults in the circuit are as shown. Loose contact of the wires. Overheating of the components. Broken wires. Wrong connection of the terminals. Check the solder joints thoroughly. Smell check. Inspect visually for any burnt components and for burning or smoke smell. This can be done even during on condition. Touch method. Touching the components by hand is a very useful troubleshooting technique. But take the following precautions before touching the components. Turn off the circuit for some time and allow large capacitors to discharge. Wear insulated shoes. Wear an earth connecting strip in the wrist. Logical approach. Usually, all the manufacturers give the logical service flow diagram or problem tree for the identified problem of their equipment. Refer to and proceed with the troubleshooting as directed therein. A typical problem tree given for a regulated power supply unit which has no output supply is shown in the following media. Thus, you have learnt troubleshooting methods in power supply unit equipment.
In this exercise, you will learn how to troubleshoot a DC regulated power supply. Check for any defects by visual inspection. Remove outer cover of the RPS. Circuit can be divided into 4 units. They are input unit, transformer unit, rectifier unit, and regulator unit. Switch on power supply. Assuming there is no overheated condition, check the input power to the transformer. Using a multimeter, measure voltage across the primary of the transformer. If there is no voltage, then check power cord for its healthiness. If there is any defect in the power cord, replace it. Assume there is no fault in the power cord. Now check the output of the transformer. If there is no voltage in secondary side, the transformer is inferred defective. Replace the transformer. Assume there is no fault in the transformer. Measure the DC voltage across the output of the rectifier. If the fault is in the rectifier unit, then replace the rectifier. Assume that there is a defect on the regulator unit. This can be found by measuring the DC voltage across the output of the regulator. If the fault is in the regulator unit, then replace the regulator. Reassemble the RPS. Check for its working by measuring the voltages at output terminals.